Straight out of Red Bank, New Jersey, your boy Paris Hall was born and raised. But hold on, before I go into detail about my life, who I am, what I'm about, let's go through what's going on in present day. Now in high school, I was an absolute dog, dual sport athlete, had a few scholarships to go play lacrosse, but on that football field, every school in the nation wanted me to come. And when it was all said and done, I chose football, but you're probably wondering right now to yourself, how does a 5-star corner land at San Jose State of all schools? And I'm gonna keep it so real with you, it's extremely simple. Playing time and opportunity, and that's all I wanted coming into this whole process. So boom, playing time. I come in as the third cornerback on the depth chart, somewhere in that nickel spot. And as far as opportunity, I'm given a chance to move my way up the depth chart day one. So my reason or explanation for being here at San Jose State over Georgia, Florida, or Clemson is very simple. I just wanted to be on the field. And quite frankly, that's just something a lot of them other schools couldn't offer me. They're loaded with talent, top to bottom, and also just think about it. I can create my own legacy and be a part of something great here. I mean, they might not have the richest history when it comes to winning football games or championships or nothing like that, but we can change that. But for me, a lot of that extra stuff really didn't matter. Of course, I want to be a part of a winning culture, blase, XYZ, but at the end of the day, I can touch that field. That's all that mattered. For the first game, a lot of people get on my head about rocking the XP helmet. Dog, all of the legendary and just dog corners in history rock this helmet. But as far as what I got on, accessory-wise, I keep it real simple and clean. Now, with all the guys leaving out, all together, band up, ready to go get in the crowd hype, I kind of hung back for a second to take it all in. It's really about to go down. Now, off the rip, here in the first quarter, just trying to get my feet wet. We got FCS West at the crib this week to open things up. Now, here in some cover 3, I'm supposed to be down here pressing on 3rd and 4, trying to get a hand on this receiver, completely whiff. It's almost like I had no time to react. Now, in high school, obviously, I wasn't no bum, but with me being 6'4", taller than pretty much any and everybody on the field, having above average speed, I pretty much shined amongst them all. College is completely different, dog. Everybody's tall, everyone's pretty much a freak of nature, and even though I'm 6'4", I think the fact that I'm only about 177 pounds soaking wet, it shows bright. But fortunately for me, one thing you can't be born with, like height or even other freakish abilities, is my ability to make a play on that ball. I'm a pick machine, and I'm guaranteed to get a few this season. And honestly, I'm trying to get a lot more than a few. I'm trying to break some records, whether that's school or all NCAA. I'm just trying to go crazy. And even though we're only in the second quarter, I'm kind of gassed, being that I've been assigned to follow around every team's fastest receiver on a week-to-week basis. And I'm pretty good in coverage with speed guys or even a big body receiver. It's no problem, but dog, chasing these one-dimensional guys around the field can be wearing. And honestly, that's one of the main reasons why I want to move up the depth chart, get away from these track stars and actually guard real deal receivers. But week 1, we end in a loss to an FCS team is crazy. Offense went stone cold on us all game. I walked out of this one with no picks, barely any highlights, and these boys get to walk out of here with their heads high. And after me personally having a disappointing freshman season debut, you better believe I'm hanging after practice, putting in that work. But going into game 2, switching up the drip just a little bit with the tall scrunch socks, forearm sleeves, I'm clean, ain't really too much to be said. And every single week you know I'm on the hunt trying to pick up my first interception, but here in the bottom of the first quarter, I pick up a touchdown saving tackle. Not too much action for me personally here in the first half, but we do hold a 21-3 lead, looking like we might walk out of here with our first W of the season. For the most part, adjusting to the speed and physicality of college football coming from high school has been a breeze, but the cerebral part of things, the mental side, has been kind of tough. Like all throughout high school, I was always a dog, being able to catch picks, hawk down any lanes, able to bait the quarterback up with ease. But in college, it's a completely different game. Like quarterbacks at this level are not easily fooled. And as far as these receivers, boy, they got feet like ballerinas. The first half is coming to an end. We're trying to get these boys off the field. We know they want to air the ball out. I'm down here trying to press and man coverage. I get absolutely destroyed. Catch the ball over the top, picks up huge yardage, and he stops the clock. Now down here in short distance once again, trying to press at the line, failing miserably, but this time around the big play isn't giving up on my part. And now the only thing on my head is making this quarterback pay. We got the lead, it's the fourth quarter. I want to pick, completely out of position. My teammate bails me out, picking up this nice interception. And even though I got bailed out on that play, I still smell that blood in the water. 1st and 10, baiting them up, sitting inside, even though I have a deep zone responsibility, coming away with my first collegiate pick. You better believe after the play, I'm talking my talk. And even though before I said college quarterback quarterbacks aren't as sensitive to bait, I picked up on something. Reading the Q, reading their tendencies. That's what it's all about. You got to learn the QB individually on a week-to-week basis. And back with another cover 3 zone, trying to take that same approach, but this time around, it results in a big, miserable failure, completely whiffing on this dive for the ball and just overall giving up a huge play. We got a huge win. I came away with my first career interception, but I know for a fact in the film room, I'm finna get tore to shreds by my DB coach. Kennesaw State done pulled up to the crib this week, got that all blue on looking nasty, and the home crowd, they trying to get loud early. And keep in mind, they do have a star-studded running back on that side of the ball, so we got to be on point all game, got to step up in the running game if need be, like here on 2nd and 6. Got some man coverage here on 3rd and 7, trying to get these boys off the field. I'm supposed to be down here pressing, but I'm a back off. That's not my strong suit right now. We got to work on that side of my game. In my freshman season, that's what I'm dedicating myself to, my mindset, my focus, and overall just what I want to get better, to become more of a complete cornerback, more of a complete football player, period. But speaking of complete football players, how about one of my dogs on the other side of the field, coming through in the clutch with an interception, then riding this one all the way down the numbers to the crib for a pick 6, putting points on the board early. We got some second quarter action here, back with some man coverage, completely terrified to get torched going across the middle of the field, that I get absolutely decimated over the top, giving up a huge touchdown. And believe it or not, even though I've given up a few of those already just within these first couple of games of the season, my DB coach told me flat out, I'm not going to come off the field. He's not going to bench me. He sees the potential. He just wants me to reach the fullest of it. Now, to me in the moment, it didn't make no sense. And I know for a fact to you, it makes zero sense, but he kind of broke it down in a logical way that actually summed up to be something pretty great and inspirational when he was all said and done. Now, keep in mind, I just did 2 of the worst things you can do in man coverage. That's sit flat-footed, and I gave up all of my depth. My DB coach's exact words were, and it really hit home for me, dog. It really let me know he cares about me as a player, was straight up this: if he took me off the field, even sat me on the bench, he'd be doing myself and himself a disservice. And at first I didn't understand, but here's where that connection I grew that kind of made me want to come here even more, and also just that love I know he got for me as a player came in. He told me he'd feel like a complete idiot if he sat all that talent on the bench over a few mistakes and not let me get out here and develop, and that was all the fuel I needed. All I needed to hear to go out there and get my second pick of the season. And after the game, I ran up straight to him. He hugged me, embraced me like no other, and that was the type of love I needed to really lock me in and kind of secure me in the mental as a freshman. And it made it all better as me and the guys stood together arm in arm singing our fighting song after the game. But on a week-to-week basis, I'm always working on improving, whether it's my tackling form, whether it's just overall filling the gaps, just getting better in every aspect of the game, and just overall fine-tuning my skills, bro. What coach said to me really lit a fire under my butt, dog. I really want to get out here and work and be the best version of myself I possibly can. But honestly, do I have a choice? If I don't step up and do my thing, whether it's on the field, in game, or even in practice, I could lose my starting job, and I'm not letting that happen for no reason. This might be the biggest stadium and the largest crowd I played in front of all season. We got Washington State this week. Kicking things off with a little bit of off-man coverage. Got my eyes on the QB. They decided to go with a run. I'm trying to get my feet wet early and get in on the action. But if I've learned anything from watching film all last week, I know this team loves to set you up. Go with the run a few times, then beat you over the top. So this whole little running attack they're trying to put on early, I know it's just a fluke. They're going to try to hit us over the top and put up a lot of points. But if they're not going to throw the ball to their playmakers, they'll definitely hand it off or even do a touch pass like they do here on 1st and 10, coming right to my side. I had him dead center in my sights, but we make a bonehead play. Me and my teammate ran into each other. And it's plays like that we just cannot give up, dog. We had him dead to rights, and we just completely messed that up. But if I've learned anything from my DB coaches, have a short-term memory. I completely forgot that play, locked back in. We're back in the red zone. I'm coming through with a big hit right here. Lined up in front of one of their impact players. They're going with this trips bunch formation, and they go with a route combination that would confuse anybody, but we're all over it, and so is my guys. We're going with some cover 3 as the first half comes to an end, dog. They take the top off. This receiver turned on the Jets, beat me up the field. Their impact player is definitely showing why he has that star, but nonetheless, he's still my responsibility. I'm still lined up in front of him trying to make things happen and shut him down, but not only him, but his guys on the other side of the field are making big plays. Watching 2 speedy receivers stacked like this on one side of the field is scary, but I do a good job maintaining my inside leverage, giving up just the right amount of depth to bait this quarterback. And my main focus, especially over these last couple of weeks, is how do I align myself with my goals? How do I put myself in the best position to make a play on the ball and overall shut down every team's best receiver week in and week out? And the biggest thing, which is tendencies, dog. They've ran this screenplay maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the entirety of this game, and I have yet to pick up on it. I got to do better with that. And look, I know I'm a freshman. I got a lot to learn. Overall, I got to develop, but I want to be great so bad. I'm not really leaving myself any room for error. But them boys over here at Washington State ain't come to play. Hung up 41 on our defense, and it's just outright embarrassing. Offense did all they could. We just couldn't have their back. This week, I'm locking in on my technique, how to keep my depth, my leverage, and also put hands on these receivers and not get beat deep. And I just got word in our game this week, we're going all gold everything. So for sure, you know I got to sauce it up. We got a nighttime game, gold from head to toe. We got to give Nevada the business this week. But every week, I like to get things kicked off, getting my hand on one of these tackles, even if it's just in a minor way. Once I get those early game jitters out the way, I can completely focus on my game, coming through helping my teammate, assisting him with this tackle before the running back picks up this first down. Down here in some press man coverage, and I've been watching film on this dude, bro. He's a big body receiver, but one thing he hates, and I've noticed this, he does not like to be touched on his inside shoulder. Got some cover 2 here on 3rd and 4, and I got my eyes so locked in on the quarterback and the inside receiver. The guy right here on the wide side is picking up the first and some turning this one upfield. On top of playing bad coverage, I also didn't come through with the tackle when I should have. That's nobody's fault but mine. I should have sat a little bit lower on that, but trust me, I'm gonna learn from my mistake. Now in some cover 3 with a deep zone responsibility, this receiver launches his way straight towards the back of the end zone. I'm trying to bait it up to the best of my ability. Ball doesn't come my way, goes to the other side. They pick up the touchdown. Back at it again, lined up down here pretty tight on an island with one of their best receivers, putting hands on Buddy, but they do go with the run, coming through trying to get active. I already knew what time it was when they lined up their speedy receiver on my side of the field. You know I ain't going for that. Trying to launch this one deep up the field, coming through with a clutch deflection. Being a DB, having to cover this trips bunch formation and man coverage is never a good time, but you know it is fun watching one of your guys come through getting a clutch pick when we don't have any points on the board. Offense went and put up 3, and that's better than nothing. Now here with a cover 3 zone, getting back but also taking a certain angle to bait this one up. I do a great job, and I also get my hands in there to force the incompletion. I haven't been perfect in coverage today by no stretch of the imagination, but coming through in the clutch with a few good plays, even though we're down right now, is definitely going to serve me good in the film room. You know we back at it with some more press man coverage, trying to hone in and just master my craft in game. I do a great job getting hands on, but I get completely torched and I give up all of my inside leverage. Now completely terrified to give up anything deep or across the middle. I'm antsy, bouncing around. This receiver torched me, going across the middle of the field, not only making the catch but turning this one upfield. But as a DB, like coach said, I have to have a short-term memory, focus on my game, hone in on my technique. Here was some deep zone coverage on 1st and 10, dropping what would have been a beautiful zone hawking pick. And like I said before, in this cover 2, learning from my mistakes, I'm sitting off, but I come down, cut off everything underneath, get back to make sure nothing's just over the top of my zone, but also flying back downhill to kill any possibility of a catch right here. And taking a 2-score loss at the crib in front of our home crowd does not feel great, especially with these guys being out here in the rain to support us. This week is going to be difficult to say the least. Torrey Horton and his Colorado State Rams, bro, these dudes got some dogs on that side of the field. And out the gate, lined up in some press man coverage against a potential 1st-round wide receiver pick. He kills me on the inside, gets my depth and leverage, picking up the first down. They go with the hurry-up offense. We drop into a deep zone. They call the perfect play with a quick screen to Torrey. He rides it up the sideline after breaking my weak tackle attempt. It's still early in this game for sure, but I'm not going to lie. The way they're getting him involved and he's inserting his dominance is kind of nerve-wracking. It's almost destroying my confidence. And even though I haven't earned the right or even a title to be called the #1 cornerback on this team, I've been assigned with stopping their #1 receiver. And even though I appreciate the assignment, the confidence in my ability, I think coach put me in and got me in a position to where I'm way over my head, even more over my head than this ball that was perfectly placed in this receiver's hands. He walks in for a touchdown. But it's hard to have a short-term memory, like coach said, when you're constantly being tested and failing to step up to the plate just about every single time, except for a few. Like so far throughout the season, even though I've been getting torched a lot, I have some good plays, deflections, PBUs, even a couple of picks under my belt. And speaking of good plays, how about this pick from my dog Larry T to take it back to the crib for the pick 6 that gives us the lead. We have a 4-point lead here midway through the 3rd quarter. Colorado State has been doing a great job running the ball all day, but it doesn't work out in their favor here on 3rd and 7. But now we're back at it. Off man coverage, 2nd and 8. Torrey's gonna run a quick slant across the middle. I get there just in time to lay a hit. He drops drops this ball, forcing the incompletion. Now, I don't think it's a good idea for me to be trying to jam 14 at the line, but I do it anyway successfully. He runs the quick curl, and I'm inches away from knocking this ball down. He makes the catch and falls 1 yard short of the first. This time around, playing some off-man coverage, he runs that exact same route. I feel like I jumped into perfection, and it does not come my way, but the ball does land in the hands of one of my teammates. Over here on the wide side of the field with an ample amount of space, I got a cover 2 zone, trying to protect everything medium and underneath. Torrey makes this catch, but I definitely make him pay for it. And on a week-to-week basis, I'm starting to learn how important decision making is, especially when in zone coverage. I could have got down there and tried to jump that route with Torrey, but I decided to cut off the deeper route instead. And as much as I hate to admit it, as a DB, you have to be able to make sacrifices, give up the small play to prevent the big one. I got a deep zone responsibility, but I see Torrey running this beautiful 10-yard out. I try to jump it, completely misjudge the ball, and in the blink of an eye, he's upfield picking up like 40 yards. As much of a route technician as 14 has seemed to be, bro, his speed is completely underrated. I thought I had enough depth, but obviously not enough. This ball comes over the top, and I give up the touchdown that ultimately puts us in the grave. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had talks with my coaches on why I think that I haven't had the success that I feel like I should coming into this season. And I simply put it, I feel like I'm limited. I'm always on one side of the field guarding this guy or that guy. I want to travel. I want to do a little bit more. I want my role in this defense to expand. And this week, I get that chance to move up the depth chart to CB2. And with every pair of eyes from all these coaches being on me this week, I'm getting active in these tackling drills. And I can almost guarantee nobody expected me to step up and make these kind of hits on our starting running back. Now trying to work on my ability to get back to the quarterback, and I cannot lie, I'm struggling a bit. It's not really my strong suit. I'm more of a coverage guy, but we're gonna try to do everything that we can. After taking care of business and securing my spot to be CB2 on this roster, I want to do everything I can to prove why that was a good move from our coaching staff. And I'm really out to prove a point, because all over social media, all I've seen is how bad of a move this was. We're in short distance, we check into a zone, and of course they go with the simple run to walk it right up the middle for the easy touchdown. It's first down, and I'm completely neglecting the fact that I have a deep zone. I'm baiting this route underneath, and me and my boy get there to make this tackle, but not before he can make this catch. I went at the line here in press man coverage, but not only do I do that, I turn my back completely, plant my foot in that ground, come away with my first pick of this game, taking it all the way back to the crib for my first pick 6 of my career. Now here in some cover 2 zone in short distance, I have to be careful to not give up anything at the top of my zone, but also I got to get downhill. I do a great job at that, but poor execution on breaking on this ball. Slightly different zone, but the exact same mindset and responsibility. This time around, eyes on the quarterback, completely hawking this one down, coming away with my second pick 6 of the game and of the season at that, getting into the crib before I can get touched. We have an insane lead. This game is completely out of reach. We're for sure gonna walk out of here with a win, and I know for a fact all the haters and naysayers are dead quiet right now. We hang up 62 on them boys at the crib. That's the way you bounce back, if you ask me. And you know, at home after a big victory, we're singing that fighting song with pride. Now I guess it's safe to say, when you catch 2 picks and take both back to the crib, that'll earn you Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week honors. And you just might be able to tack on the title of being the National Defensive Player of the Week as well. I went crazy. It's an extreme honor. I'm just trying to keep up with this pace. Out the gate, we go at that press man coverage, trying to put hands on this receiver. This ball came so fast. I was in perfect position to make a play on this one, dog. I just wasn't expecting this pass. And one of the cons I believe in being in a cover 3, even a cover 4 zone, bro, there's always going to be some type of hole. And if they run a route like they do here, where they sit right there in that little dead zone, they're going to pick up big yardage every time. But as a DB, my mentality for me personally is I should be able to cover that dead zone and also get back to where I'm supposed to be and just cover it all. But it makes it extremely tough when you have multiple receivers running straight at you. I got a teammate on the inside that I completely neglected to think about, and also this guy on the outside is my responsibility because he's completely uncovered. But I guess that's just part of the game, trying to analyze everything down to its minute details and perfect your craft. But now going back to an important detail that's kind of slipped my mind as of lately is tendencies. Probably the most important, especially when you want to pick up something going on in game on the fly. Who, what, when, and where these receivers are lined up in certain formations can tell you everything you need to know about a play, even pre-snap. And as I see 81 lined up on the wide side of the field this time around, gave me all the information I needed to come away with this beautiful zone pick. And of course, we ain't nailing nothing out in the end zone. We trying to take it back every chance we get. But Fresno State ain't wasting no time, putting themselves back in position in the red zone, securing the touchdown and securing the lead before going into the second half. And then to kick off the second half, we went down and picked up 3 points, but they come right back back in the red zone with a rushing touchdown to further the lead. And once again, I got a cover 3 zone. I know exactly what's coming, but I take the worst angle possible, give up all of my depth, and I just get flat out burned, giving up a huge touchdown over the top. This could have very much been a pick. And I don't even know what to say about that. That was just flat out poor execution on my part. I knew it was coming, read it like a book. I was in position, but I just gave up way too much depth. Now back at it less than 20 yards from the end zone, trying to win at the line here. Not only do I lose, but 8-1 is having his way with me right now. He picks up yet another touchdown on my head. And I think it's safe to say for the remainder of this season, I don't need to come down here at the line and try to jam not a single receiver until I can get my weight up and overall fix my technique. I've been getting obliterated when it comes to that. But I can't play off man coverage and zone all day, every day, 24/7, because one of the greatest cornerbacks in the league today said it himself, Jalen Ramsey, you cannot play one technique all game. And I believe that to be true. So with us taking an extremely embarrassing loss in conference play on the road this week, I need to take this time to mentally focus on every aspect of my game like I have already, but I got to go a little bit more in depth. So Pete, I ain't find out till today when I got the film study that our cornerback, one, he went down with an injury. They saying it's minor, could be major, but nobody really knows. But what we do know right now for a fact, somebody got to step into that cornerback 1 spot. And I told myself, who better than me? And as much as I hate to say it, it's just a flat out truth. Bro's injury gave me the opportunity that I've been waiting for all season to become CB1. And by the time, if or when he does come back, this position will no longer be available. And with me being the #1 corner going into this week, I've been heavily focused on getting my body right, making sure I'm 1,000% healthy, and also just working in on my skills, fine-tuning my craft. And not only me trying to be confident in my own ability, but hearing it from coaches, other teammates, they can see over this last week, I've gotten a lot better with my newfound responsibility. And without a doubt, we got probably one of our toughest opponents of the season so far, Oregon State, and we're on the road. I got my stomach out, back out, I'm ready to show out. They got your boy lined up on the other side of the field. Finally, I'm in that starting role, the true starting role. Ain't no more excuses from here on out. Playing some off-man coverage here on 1st and 10. I got my guy running up the field. My eyes on the quarterback though, and even though I'm supposed to be tracking my guy, I track the ball instead, putting myself in position to come down with my first pick of this game early. But even with me coming down with that ball, creating a turnover early for Oregon State, they waste no time getting back into the red zone, executing this time around, picking up a touchdown. And here we go again, back with some cover 2 zone, which has been kind of my weak point all season, kind of on the neutral, if not the wide side of the field, giving up a nice reception. He picks up the first. That wasn't a detrimental mistake, but nonetheless, it was a big play, and I'm gonna make up for it. Don't know when, where, or how, but I will for sure. Now down 2 scores, we need a big time play. This quarterback has forever to get rid of this ball, and I'm trying to keep track of this receiver back here deep into my zone. I do a great job coming away with the pick, trying to take it back. Not one, but make that 2 interceptions from me alone. 2 turnovers that I've given our offense an opportunity to go down and make something happen, and they have yet to capitalize. And I gotta say, hats off to Oregon State's QB1. Didn't think he'd try me for the remainder of this game after throwing 2 first-half picks, but that boy is relentless. He airs it out on top of my head. I give up a huge touchdown. And at this point, Oregon State is just trying to put on a massacre. Already up 28-7 here early in the 3rd quarter. They pick up yet another TD. I think I learned my lesson when it comes down to playing cover 3. Get back into your zone and protect it with everything in you. That's exactly what I do, coming away with a over-the-shoulder pick, my first triple pick game of my career. On the short side of the field, not a lot of space for the receiver to work with, playing some off man. He runs a nasty route, but the way I hawked this down, the way I got in position to catch this leaping pick was even nastier. I literally just played the best game of football, especially for a corner, I've ever played, seen, or anything of that nature in my life, and we take a loss on the road. And if you go out there and catch 4 interceptions in a single game, you'll be named Conference Defensive Player of the Week as well. Kicking things off this week against Boise State at the crib in these nasty gray uniforms. We got cover 2 out the gate, and I make a huge mistake not jumping this route underneath, focusing too much on the outside guy. With me being CB1 now, my responsibilities not only as a corner, but overall my role, and me being an emerging leader on this defense, I have to step up and do way more than just cover. On 1st and 10, I know this receiver at some point in time is going to try to make something happen. Got some off-man coverage. The stadium is starting to get a little bit loud. We're trying to turn it up. He runs the sickest comeback route I've ever seen. scheme. My man coverage in press and off needs some work. I have terrible decision making when it comes down to cover 2, but cover 3, I'm an expert. Getting back into position after pretty much baiting this route up, knocking this one loose, that was textbook. And can you imagine me as a cornerback, 6'4", if I was dominant in the press, I was great off man, and I did my thing in cover 2 with my ability to play cover 3 so well, bro, I would be a complete elite corner. And this is one of them situations where I need to get better. I peeped the formation, I've watched film on it, I know this is a screen, but I'm sitting so far off, I'm giving them more than enough time to set up their blocks. I get my play clean by a play cleaner. And once again, getting completely out muscled by the receiver trying to press at the line, he completes this catch and I look like an absolute fool. And not to say I'm perfect by no stretch of the imagination when I have a deep zone, but I'm way better in coverage when we are. But one of my dogs on the other side of the field, he shows that he can do the same and come away with a pick. Now back here on the island playing some off man coverage, I can't press because I know I'm gonna get obliterated, and it's scary out here on this island when a receiver has so much space to work with. And I may seem weak when it comes to pressing at the line with these receivers, but boy, when I can come downhill from an angle and hit one of these running backs, I'm gonna show off the little bit of strength that I do have. I mean, every time back to back you give me that chance, I'm gonna secure and lock in on my opportunity to make my presence felt. I'm not sure what this whole offensive scheme or plan is, but they have 3 running backs and absolutely loaded backfield. Not sure what's going on, but I don't like it. And what am I thinking in short distance trying to press one of their bigger receivers, a stronger guy? He gets in my inside pocket and takes over, picking up the touchdown. But here I am coming off one of the best games I've ever played, trying to prove a point, getting absolutely routed up, probably the nastiest I've ever been done by a receiver ever in my career, giving up another TD. My pop's name is Chauncey Hall, but with how terrible I played today, a lot of people might confuse me for Eli Apple Jr. UNLV done came into town and it's kind of cold out here this week, but I still got that jersey rolled up as somewhat of an intimidation tactic. And getting back to my side of the field, coming downhill full speed, landing hit on their running back before knocking him out of bounds also is my way of letting them know I came here to ball. The way that they have these 2 tight ends lined up on the same side of the field is almost like a guaranteed pass. I knew this from the jump. Trace and track him across the field perfectly, a pick if he would have thrown it. And on the 1 yard line, to no surprise, we know exactly what they want to do. Go at the quick run, walk it in, okay, it's over with. They got it. And believe it or not, despite my struggles, I'm still being told by my coaches to get down here and work on my press technique, not only in practice, but also still in the games. But I'm extremely proud of myself with the work I've put in, coming downhill, making tackles on quarterbacks, running backs, and even some of these receivers. I've elevated my way of play in so many ways. UNLV has made their way back into the red zone, trying to keep these boys scoreless this time around, even though they do have a 3-point lead right now already. And as much as I like to think I'm absolutely perfect when it comes to cover 3 zone, I make the biggest mistake by trailing this receiver way too far across the middle of the field, giving up a touchdown dead center in my zone. Now we're back with some zone coverage, but I will not be making the same mistake, getting back into perfect position to come down with an interception, giving offense a chance to go down and actually put some points on the board. And here we are back in cover 2, where honestly this isn't my fault, but I should have definitely had way more depth than this. The big play is made, but I mean, I could have been there to stop that. And that's what I talk about when you're in certain coverages, bro, those dead zones. When the offense can sit receivers or put them in a position to be right there in that hole, it really works out in their favor. UNLV has completely ran away with the score of this game. Down 17 points, we desperately need a big play, and who better to call on than your boy 9, coming through with my second pick of the game. And one thing about it, you cannot deny the facts. Ever since I've jumped into this cornerback 1 role, or this quote-unquote starting role, I've been going absolute crazy. I haven't been perfect, I've made my mistakes, but I've been doing my thing. And you let me know, is it justifiable for me to be completely frustrated with the fact that we're losing week in and week out, taking out all my frustration out on this receiver, blowing him up after the touch pass? And it's hard to put the blame on anybody or either side of the ball. 1 week offense is not putting up any points, the next defense, we can't stop a cold. But go ahead and put this one in the books. Another week, another loss, 48-17, flat out embarrassing. With us approaching our final game of the season, a rivalry versus Stanford, my starting safety decided to hit me up and let me know he's hitting the portal, but little does he know I got the same thing in mind. And how do we get this game kicked off? With a huge run coming to my side of the field. I get caught with an unexpected block. This dude ran that ball and fell just 1 yard short of the end zone. Offense went down and put up a touchdown of their own. Now it's time to capitalize on the defensive side, getting back in coverage, picking up this interception, trying to take it back. Back with some off-man coverage on the wide side of the field, this receiver has way too much field to work with. Not only does he make this catch in a sweet spot between me and the safety, he takes off and rides it to the crib. And I don't know who he is or what's gotten into him, but 24 is going absolute crazy. That boy is playing receiver with the jersey number of a running back, and he's wreaking havoc on our secondary. Back at it again with that cover 2 zone that I never do well with. I should have been a little bit lower here, but honestly, there's no way to know that they're gonna go with this quick screen. I mean, I watched film, but this was completely unexpected. And one of the few things that I hate more than actually getting beat in coverage is when I have to travel all the way to the other side of the field to make a play that my guys should have done anyway. Trips bunch formation, the speedy guys lined up on the outside, and we're in the red zone and man coverage. That's a scary sight, and they capitalize. And to say I've been struggling in man coverage all day today would be an understatement. I'm getting absolutely cooked. I was on his hip, but he just created so much separation at the top of this route. It was just beautiful from a receiver standpoint. And honestly, they just continue to attack me in every single which way that they possibly can. Over the top, going deep, man coverage, even here with this little whip route. It was nasty. And at this point, the name of the game is just to not get beat or give up any more points, especially in the fourth quarter, down 11 points. But I do exactly that. I thought I had a good position, but bro, this was just a perfectly placed ball. And their receiving core plus their quarterback has completely destroyed the confidence of me and my entire secondary, but now they put one on the ground, picking up another TD. My freshman season is officially over, and it wasn't pretty by no stretch of the imagination, but Best Defensive Back award does come home with me. I had 12 picks on the season. As a team, we have nothing to be proud of this season, but all my personal achievements, I'm going to soak that in to the fullest. How about the freshman All-Mountain West Conference team? I made it. I learned a lot my freshman year, like I should have been CB1 from the jump, and I believe I wasn't developed correctly as a young, talented freshman. With all that being said, it's time for me to hit the portal. I will not be returning back to San Jose State for my sophomore season. I think I just made the worst decision of my entire life. Of my life, my career, all of the above. Now, we all know my freshman season had its highs and its lows. I went crazy catching interceptions, put my name on the map, but as a team, we just failed over there at San Jose State. And when the time came, hitting the transfer portal wasn't even up for discussion, and that's what landed me here at Wisconsin of all schools. But let me break it down why I chose Wisconsin out of everywhere else. Now, on the surface, it just seems like such a great idea. Ranked top 10 in the country, a Big Ten school, a huge step from the Mountain West, and I come in as CB3 on the depth chart. But where the problem lies, just like when I chose San Jose State coming out of high school, I had the same exact thought process and mindset when I chose Wisconsin. I did a quick visit, didn't talk to many coaches or players on the team. I just kind of winged it based off a phone call and guarantees, and I just picked the school. Now, granted, a lot of those guarantees and promises were kept, but at the same time, now being here and getting acclimated and going to practice and being around the guys and just overall being here on campus, I see that this is not the place for me. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a great school, a decent track record in the football department, but it just doesn't feel like home, you know? But now that I've officially won the position battle and I am now CB2 on the depth chart, technically a starter, there's no going back. I gotta lock in. But one thing that I did forget to mention, because it has such a wear and tear effect on my mental, is the main reason why I feel like coming here to Wisconsin was a mistake, and that's family. And when I tell you I never thought I would feel or see so much anger, hatred, and borderline resentment from the people I love, it genuinely shocked me. I think it's the simple fact that I'm the youngest of 7. All of my siblings live within state, got jobs, doctors, lawyers. Everybody's doing something extremely great, and I love that. But here I am, baby bro, want to play football. Yeah, I'm in college, I'm doing my thing, but I'm playing this, in their eyes, barbaric sport that they just don't approve of. So not only am I the youngest, the baby of the fam, but I'm also the black sheep and somewhat of just the outlier. I'm just the one who's doing something completely different that nobody likes, understands, or respects. I mean, I guess it's safe to say in their eyes, I'm going against the grain in a sense. And when I let them know I was hitting the transfer portal, man, they were so excited. They thought I was going to move closer home to Jersey, maybe go to Syracuse, you know, just be anywhere remotely close to where we're from. Because me moving to Cali to go to San Jose State, that was one thing. But then now to have an opportunity to quote unquote fix my mistake and then I choose to go to Wisconsin of all places, yeah, they ain't like that at all. So honestly, my whole transitional period going from San Jose State, coming to Wisconsin, dealing with family, trying to get better as a player and overall just adjust, it's been beyond tough. And they go with this ugly stack formation. I hate seeing these receivers do this because you never know what to expect. They go with the screen. I completely whiff on the tackle, get caught up on the block. Just bad execution for me. And I've been wondering when, where, and how my first interception as a Badger would come in here on 1st and 10 in the fourth quarter. In my first game here, we're going to come through with the pick and man coverage, trying to take it back to the house. And at this point, I'm just trying to get active all across the field, making tackles, coming through, helping my teammates, interceptions, playing the ball well, well, doing it all. And it came down to the wire, extremely close, but we walk away with a 5-point win, 45-40 at home week 1 against Miami of Ohio. And Mid-Tennessee State is not a team you're just finna walk all over. I've been studying film and these boys got some talent. But you know, every week the agenda, the mindset, and the overall goal is the same. Come in here and get that dub. And we start the season with back-to-back home games, so that's really solid, but they put points on the board first in this one. But as I'm trying to lock things up on my side of the field, on the other side, one of my guys come through with a huge interception to put offense in a great position. But I guess my defense is just going interception crazy here closer to our sideline, dropping back into my cover 3 zone, snagging my second pick in back-to-back games. And I see that Mid-Tennessee State's quarterback is very sensitive to when you give him anything that's an outside look, so I sit inside heavy, get back into my zone, coming through with pick number 2 of the day. And I'm already having a day with 2 interceptions of my own, but how about my secondary coming through with pick number 4 for our defense on the game already in 3 quarters. But here's why I've struggled almost my entire career. I've never been the greatest tackler, and it shows here. I had an angle trying to get around the block, and I just completely whiff and fail, giving up the big play ultimately. And this may be the toughest place to cover anything short distance, but I lock this receiver down, and so do my guys, coming through on the 2-point conversion to put this one to rest. At cover 3 look once again, they're in the gun. I know they want to throw this ball. They need to put some points up even though they have a 1-point lead. They throw it my way. I completely misjudge where I'm supposed to be. Not only does he make this catch, he rides it all the way to the house. But when I make a mistake, you better believe I'm gonna do everything I can to fix it. Coming through, helping my teammates secure this tackle, knocking the ball loose, but not only that, falling on it, securing the fumble recovery. Oh, and the first chance I got to get in front of that camera after making the huge play and throw up that dub, you better believe I'm doing it with the biggest smile on my face. After offense went down and secured the lead with the great field positioning we provided, how about another turnover from our defense, coming through with yet another interception? And with just over a minute left, 3rd and 5, trying to get these boys off the field or at least force them to have to go for it on 4th down. I've never seen a receiver come back so far. I've never seen a quarterback have so much time to throw a ball like this. And even though I'm living here in the moment today, I still couldn't tell you how Mid-Tennessee pulled off this win, a 3-point win at that against a ranked team. And believe me when I say, if I could trade in this Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week honors plus the 2 picks just to get the dub, I would. Now we lose to a team like Mid-Tennessee State, now trying to bounce back on the road against a team like Alabama. But I got faith in myself and the guys. We can definitely pull off the win. We just got to come out here and execute and put last week behind us. And one thing I can appreciate here, especially as I'm still developing as a young corner, is last year at San Jose State, we played a bunch of man. This season here at Wisconsin, completely different. We play a bunch of zone. Not to say we don't play man at all, but I was getting burnt, cooked, and just absolutely fried a bunch last season, even though I had 12 picks. Bama has star-studded talent across the board. We all know that, but now trying to guard one of their better players, putting hands on and completely messing up on this jam, but I do hold it down. Now playing some off man, getting back, trying to avoid getting cooked and burnt, but my guy on the inside, he gets absolutely routed by this slot receiver. I can't make it over in time to help him out. Now down 3 points, and you know Bama at some point is going to try to take the top off and extend their lead, and they're going to do it to my side. That's a huge mistake. 3 straight games with an interception trying to take this one back. I get tackled right around the 40. And at this point, number 6 for Bama is literally my son. Traveling in motion, taking this touch pass. I come all the way across the field to lay that wood. We got a 4-point lead, and we're looking to take the ball away here on 3rd and 10. At least get these boys off the field. Not only do I get in perfect position to catch this pick, but you want to talk about a perfectly thrown ball, man. And as much as I hate to say it, as much as I hate to see it, Bama's starting to get rolling. They're stringing some things together. Our defense has done a great job so far throughout the first half and even here in the 4th quarter, but we got to stay on top of that. And at this point, I'm big play hungry. I caught 1 pick earlier, now trying to come through with a second. They deliver another dime to the sideline. I'm giving up everything in my zone. And then we go man coverage here, one of their shifty slot receivers who absolutely routes me up, makes this catch, picks up big yardage. I'm getting embarrassed right now. And we've seen this before earlier in this game. You know I'm all over it. Coming in motion with him flying downhill. We get the stop before he can make it back to the line of scrimmage. And here to complete one of the longest drives and possessions of the entire game, Bama walks in for a touchdown. But once again, for our 2nd win of the season, we escaped just by a hair. A 2-point win over Bama on the road. That's how you bounce back from an ugly dub at the crib. And things continue to get even more difficult. The defending champs Michigan on the road this weekend. First play, I'm in position to make a play on the ball, but I completely misjudge it, and he takes this one up the field. It's crazy that I'm having so much success as of lately with the new team, and I haven't gotten any recognition, any love, even a phone call from anybody in my family. Not a phone call, a letter, an email, or anything from the people that I love to let me know that they've been watching and they supporting what I do. But you want to know what's crazy? They kind of tore me down towards the end of last season, though I received many phone calls and text messages reminding me that what I was doing was a bad idea, especially when the team wasn't doing as well. But to be completely honest, and this may sound weird, I really did appreciate that negative communication, even if it didn't have a good effect on me. And I say that because the lack of concern, the little to no communication has way more of a negative effect on me, and I don't know why. I almost feel like on the inside I'm just begging for attention, but like, am I wrong? Like, these are the people I love, the fam, the people I care about. If I was to make it to the league one day, I would share my blessings with them, if anybody. I mean, for me to be playing on a bigger stage, playing well, and the team's playing well, I have nobody to kick this back to, nobody to share it with. And as much as I hate to admit it, over time it's just going to continue to have a bigger effect on me, and I don't even know if I can make it through the season with a clear, strong mental state. But I have to be strong, gotta be positive, gotta stay laser focused and locked in. We're playing so many great teams on a week-to-week basis, they can't afford for CB2 to be out of it. Down 10 points, offense is struggling to put it together here in the first half, but me, I'm gonna make it happen. Getting into position, coming down with pick number 1 of this game. We needed a big play, and of course, now I'm gonna go get it. But once again, an empty drive for our offense, and Michigan continues to put together big play after big play. But this one right here is solely on me. Receivers coming from the other side of the field, deep into the back of the end zone, coming down with a big play, a touchdown at that, and that's solely my responsibility. And here toward the bottom of the third quarter, what could have been a pick or even a big play for this receiver, a comeback route that I could have possibly picked off, but nonetheless, quarterback gets hit. It's just an incomplete pass. And with offense finally putting something together, making this a 5-point game, this first down picked up by Michigan's quarterback will put this game to bed officially. The Indiana Hoosiers, I swear they got like top 5 weirdest names in college. Bro, so far this season, throughout these first 4 or 5 games, we've been in so much cover 3, cover 2. It's actually kind of crazy. And then we go in man coverage or blitz here in the red zone, which I do love to stop the run, and we do that successfully here. And y'all already know when they go trips on my side of the field and the short or wide, it does not matter. I'm lined up tight inside. I get back into position, first pick of the game here in the first half. Now trying to get these boys off the hill on 3rd and 5, hanging back once again, looking for the ball to come our way. Got a teammate right behind me, but we do get to stop here on 3rd down. Pretty much midway through the first half, we remain scoreless. Indiana has a 10-point lead, but how about a pick? But not only that, to take it back to the house for a pick 6 from my dog Cardo. Now with the 4-point lead here at the start of the third quarter, at this point I'm just trying to hang back, play my zone, just stay on top of my responsibility. But the few times where the running back does get free and get to the second level, I can come downhill, help a teammate get a tackle or secure it on my own. It's always fun. And we don't see this often, not in the red zone, not in super short distance. Trying to go with some press man, they do go to run to my side. I damn near spear their RB1. I try to take that boy out. Come on now, y'all go with a trips bunch this late in the game and you're down. We already know what time it is. They go on with the quick screen. They completely miss on all the blocking assignments. I come through and blow this play up completely. And in situations like this where I have to make a better decision, who to cover, who to pick up, when in this deep cover zone, I have to let this guy go to my teammate. He's right there, but then you got a guy underneath running a shorter route, and I could have picked up on that easy. Y'all know what time it is. Red zone, short distance, they go with the pass. I know he's going inside, but somehow he pulls off this catch. That's a grown man catch at that. Damn. But with the 10-point lead here in the fourth quarter, I don't see myself nor my defense folding to this team in no way, shape, or form. We get an interception here in the clutch. Cover 2 zone here on my side. Know they want to throw the ball. One receiver, so I'm pretty much going to hang with him as long as possible. Ball is thrown at the perfect time, but an even better hit from me. And just when they thought they can put this game somewhat back in reach, how about a fumble on the goal line? We pick it up, kill the clock, walk out of here with the dub. That's how you bounce back from an L. This is where the schedule gets really difficult and the season starts to take a turn. We got number 2 ranked Oregon. Now there's no doubt in my mind that we can compete with these boys, but when me and my teammate back here in the secondary are not securing the edge like we're supposed to here on the run, yeah, things are going to get ugly for sure. And not too long after, they're right back in our territory, making a march towards the end zone once again. And at this point, all I'm trying to do is put myself in the best position possible to not give up the big play, because they're attacking my side of the field time and time again. And they've already done a few great things through the air throwing the ball, but now putting it on the ground to their trusty running back, things are really starting to get ugly. And now you got me down here, a $180 soaking wet, not only trying to man up with a big receiver, but trying to press, and they pick up a touchdown on the other side. But here in some off-man coverage, textbook off-man coverage if I do say so myself, lined up inside, off a little bit. If he sits down, I can run down on. If he goes deep, I got the leverage, and I just completely mirrored his route down to a T. I got a deep third responsibility. It's 3rd and 14. Oregon already holds a 2-score lead here in the first quarter. They go right over the top of my head, beat me deep to pick up another touchdown to go up 21-0. We're already down 21-0 in the first half. We have a complete second half of football to play, but I can tell you right here in this moment, my team team were demoralized. I mean, no energy, no spark on the sideline, no vibes, no nothing. This home crowd is rocking, and they pick up another touchdown to go up 4 scores here in the first half. At this point, as a defense, we need to capitalize on anything that this offense gives us. And how about this ball being thrown into no man's land? But I come down with the interception, made that 6 straight games with an interception for me. Offense just continue to fail time and time again, no matter how many times, no matter when or where or what, no matter how they get the ball, they can't make anything shake. And at this point, bro, as a defender, as a DB, I'm so frustrated. I'm coming downhill laying big hits, even though they literally don't matter. They're about to score once again. And we got 2 receivers on my side of the field blocking for their life. They're up 35-0. They're going to extend this lead with a free run into the end zone. How about a round of applause for me and my Badgers today, man? We came out here to Oregon, got blown out, but hey, at least we didn't get shut out. Take a random guess at who I received the phone call from just a few hours after our huge blowout loss to Oregon. Or how about this? Take a guess at who I didn't speak to just hours after taking that terrible, embarrassing, demoralizing loss. I couldn't tell you who in my immediate family I didn't talk to. How about a group FaceTime call with nearly 10 people, all my siblings, my parents, and when I tell you they were on my head, they were riding on me. And as much as they want to disguise it all as jokes and just them hee-heeing and ha-haing and just making light of a bad situation, bro, they real deal tore me down to shreds. At one point in that phone call, I think I heard my pops call me Eli Apple Jr. He said he wasn't even my father. He said it jokingly, but dog, come on. Now my 2 sisters, they're a little bit easy on me. They don't go as hard. They don't beat down my throat as much. But my brothers, oh, they go in and they don't stop. And I'm not gonna lie, all week throughout practice, film study, I caught myself zoning out, not locked in on my assignments, coaches and teammates having to correct me, and I'm usually the one doing that. So when it comes to my preparation for this game against Maryland this week, let's just say I was completely off my game, not locked in, not focused, and that's just not like me. And when I tell you I'm coming into this game completely unprepared for what I'm dealing with today, this receiving core is absolutely nasty. And by no means do I go into any game underestimating any team, any assignment that I may have on a week-to-week basis, but when I tell you right now, this team, Maryland, is tearing the top off of our defense on my side. It's embarrassing. Like if my mind was right now, I would have noticed this is one of their slowest receivers over here on my side of the field right now. I'm just preparing for the speedy guy. I'm so far back like I'm trying to prevent a Hail Mary. And while offense is taking care of business, putting points on the board, I think myself, I've given up maybe 3 touchdowns on the day alone. And speaking of our offense, they go and recapture the lead, putting us up 4 points, but who gives up the touchdown that ultimately decides this game and gives us the loss? Me. Dead center in my zone, I give it up, he walks in untouched. Looking to shake back right here this week against Iowa, trying to put another dub in the win column, starting this one off with a pick on the other side of the field. My guys going in motion, the stadium is jam-packed, going crazy, but how about a way to put everyone on mute with the generational run, breaking 1,000,001 tackles, almost taking this one home. 2 yards out from the end zone, I'm pretty sure we're not going to stop them here, and I'm exactly right. Their QB1 is going to take off and walk into the end zone. And things are happening so fast, I couldn't tell you how they put themselves right back in the same situation with the same outcome, a touchdown. At this point, they're just continuing to rack up score after score. We got them boys pinned back into their own territory this time around, looking for a different outcome. And at this point in the game, it's starting to shape up exactly like it was against Oregon, but this time around, we're at home and it's against Iowa of all teams. And while they're not just sorry or terrible or just a bad team, they're just not as good. They don't have the firepower and they're not known to have a souped up offense, but today they're looking like some all-stars. But when I tell you, this is probably the least amount of action I've seen all year. Then on top of that, they're just absolutely tearing the other side of the field up. But when it comes down to me personally, I mean, I'm doing everything I can, coming downhill, laying big hits, playing decent in coverage. Like, I've made my mistakes, but I'm pretty solid out here. They've already blown us out the water, but to put the icing on the cake, how about a 50-yard boot from their kicker? Just completely disrespectful. After this game here today, we'll have 4 games left, and for this season to be deemed a success, we need to win out. I mean, we started out balling this season, and everything just took a turn for the worse. Now we're just bottom tier. After the big play, they go with the hurry up, and their quarterback delivering a dime into the end zone to take a 1-score lead here early in the first quarter. Offense went and put 3 on the board. We love that, but Illinois marching their way right back down into the red zone, and their QB1 walks in. And it's crazy. To start the season, my secondary and my defense overall, we were electric, but now we've been just giving up yards willy-nilly, big play after big play. And even though I haven't been the best in coverage all season, I've been trying to do my best, especially towards this back end, and just hold it down. But the guys do come through in the clutches. They're about to march in and pick up yet another touchdown here in the red zone, scoop scooping up the fumble. And y'all know me, wide side, short side, I'm lined up tight when it comes to that cover 3 zone, getting into position, catching this ball late with my fingertips, no gloves on today because of the rain. I'm doing my thing still. Anytime I got cover 2 and I got trips on my side of the field, it raises my antennas, and rightfully so. They go with the quick screen. It does work out in success, but a holding call will bring this one back. And at this point, we're in the third quarter. This game is completely out of reach, down 17 as we head into the fourth. They pick up the first down here, and they go with the touch pass coming to my side. I had a chance to make this tackle, but like I said, I'm not the greatest when it comes to wrapping up. He walks in and gets into the end zone. Now up 24 points in the fourth quarter to put the game to bed on third down. Once again, another failed tackle opportunity on my part. Tried to slow him down, at least another tutty on the board. The only thing I've heard about the young talented freshman Jeremiah Smith is that he's an absolute dog, but trying to throw the ball my way, you're crazy. Coming down with a pick here on the first defensive possession of the game. And even though we've been a shell of ourselves over these last couple of weeks, another pick from one of my dogs on the back end. I'm down here in man, and he's over the top making it happen. And even though a bunch of the big names from Ohio State have transferred out from the wide receiver position, they have a bunch of talent stacked on that roster ready to go year in and year out. And looking for this ball to come across the middle to my guy, they completely fool me, going with the pitch to the outside. I'm the only line of defense. He gets in, but I make sure he pays the price with a body slam. Here in cover 2, I got a guy coming up the field trying to cut that off. Then I got another receiver lined up inside that is coming directly into my zone, and then you got another receiver from the other side picking up the first down. And at this point, I'm just trying to prevent the big play. Even though I played pretty solid all throughout this game, Jeremiah is going to sit down here on a deep curl, making this catch. I get the hit, but man, that could have been a pick if I played it right. And I'm still learning how to play this cover 2 zone to perfection, getting back a bit, cutting off the route in that dead zone, but also coming downhill in time to make sure I don't let anything fly where I'm supposed to be. But one thing about it, and one thing for sure, we don't put no points up and apply no pressure. Ohio State's offense will do that just themselves. They pick up another touchdown, going up 21-3 here in the first half. Got some man coverage lined about 6 to 8 yards off inside, trying to make sure I lock this boy down. Jeremiah runs a quick curl. I think I'm all over it, completely misjudging this ball, giving up the huge play. And just when I thought that they couldn't get any worse, here in the third quarter, getting completely embarrassed by the savvy sophomore himself, Jay Smith. I caught a pick earlier this game, but now dude is going absolute crazy, catching a bomb over the top. Another embarrassing loss at home. Offense couldn't make nothing shake if we paid them, and 35 of those points Ohio State hung up on us all came in the first half. Washington is nowhere near the team they were just a year or two ago, but best believe these boys still got talent, and they still coming out here to ball. And at this point, I've lost all hope for our team, our defense, the season, all of the above. Their running back takes his handoff in the end zone, and he rides this one down the field 2-3 yards for a touchdown. At this point, I have nothing left to say. I'm speechless on how bad we've been playing, but here got my guy coming across the middle. I'm playing some off man, but I do smack him after picking up the first down. He paid for it for sure. And then I find it flat out disrespectful to bring the ball to my side of the field, execute the play, and pick up the touchdown. Damn. And then they come right back shortly after, right back in the red zone within 10 yards, punching another one in, taking a 2-score lead. And marching their way right back down again within our territory. Their running back's going to take this handoff. I get the nice strip from behind, but his teammate with great eyes and hands scoops it up. And I ain't gonna lie, my tackling throughout my entire career has been absolute terrible, but when I get a full head of steam and an opportunity, I always clap anybody within my sights, especially when we losing as bad as this. And at this point, getting blown out for what, the third, fourth week in a row, bro, I'm just used to it. It's almost like we're just a loser program. Kind of the thoughts I had when I committed to this school after the fact. Hey, at least the season started off hot. We were balling, top ranked, had a winning record, catching picks, secondary, offense, everybody was just making something happen. But what our team slowly but surely dwindled and deteriorated into is absolutely pitiful and pathetic. We get blown out here against Washington. I done lost count at this point, but I think we're on a 6 or a 7 game losing streak. At this point in time, I have maybe 3 less interceptions that I had around this same time of the year just last season as a freshman, here as a sophomore. And while I want to sit here and say my play as a corner hasn't slipped, getting beat on plays like this early in games against Minnesota speaks volumes. I'm absolutely terrible. I've completely crashed, and I'm not calling it an excuse by no stretch of the imagination, but I've been so checked out on this season, bro. I don't even know what to say at this point. I just kind of gave up a long time ago. But at some point in your life, you're ever part of a team that completely falls apart and dismantles the way mine did, you check out mentally too. And then you add on the fact the lack of support that I had coming from the home team, which is my family, dog. That just added more salt to the wound, and it didn't help whatsoever. So my family pretty much down talked me throughout the entire process, didn't support me whatsoever. Okay, cool, but for the guys to completely just, I don't even know how things even got to this point. We just started playing bad football. And now here in the final game of the season, pretty much about to take another L as they already had the lead, but here in the fourth quarter, walking into the end zone with a monster run for a touchdown. Taking a look at my stat line for the season, obviously, I'm still one of the best corners in the country, besides the games where I got absolutely torched, but 9 interceptions, that number dropped, and I'm going to get that back up going into next season, trust me. And I think at some point we were ranked top 5 in the country, but we finished the season at the bottom of the Big Ten. Hitting the portal after this season goes without question, but where I'll land for my junior season, that's where I'm going to stay, and that's where I'm going to choose to cement my legacy as a cornerback. Where should I go? I got a big decision on my hands. Should I stay in the Big Ten and sign with UCLA? Or should I just skip over all the nonsense and sign with a flat-out powerhouse like Michigan? How about neither? We're headed to Virginia Tech to become CB1. I am now a Hokie. I had somewhat of a down season last year in Virginia Tech with one of the few schools that were willing to let me come in and challenge to be CB1 from the jump. But even with me being a junior coming over here to Tech, my teammates still know that I'm new to the squad and they want to test me out the gate. I told LeBro go kick rocks. I don't know what my safety on, but to no one's surprise, I took over that cornerback 1 spot in the blink of an eye. The second I stepped on campus, put them pads on, they knew what time it was. Let's go. I'm about to go crazy this season. I can feel it in my bones. The amount of work and preparation I put in leading up to the season, ain't no way I'm gonna fail. My first official snap and we got man coverage against a trips bunch. I don't like this look whatsoever, and this is exactly why I get absolutely fried over the top, beat, dusted, disgusted. He takes off and gets taken down at the 1. And from the 1 yard line, no surprise, they walking in for a free tutty. And my debut here at Virginia Tech is not getting off to the greatest start. I get completely embarrassed by this running back whiffing at the win. I'm going to war with Casper at this point. He rides off into the sunset. By now, we all know cover 2 has been a huge struggle for me in the past. Now this season, looking to clean that up, we get a nice sack here on 2nd down. By the way these 3 receivers were offset, I knew a screen was in play. I read it perfectly. Don't get there for the pick, but I do blow it up. Here I am getting back in the coverage, thinking about to get the opportunity I've been waiting on pretty much this entire first quarter. Now going into the second, this ball is batted down, but right in front of my face. Man coverage within 5 yards of the end zone is always scary, but when they run the ball like this, I think that's even worse. And you know me, my tackling isn't the greatest, but anytime I can play clean up crew and catch a running back off balance when he's not looking my way, you know I'm gonna take advantage. And another part of my game that I've devoted so much time and attention to is man coverage. I do a great job here locking down this receiver, and I come through and get a big hit. And at this point, I might as well be a janitor, or at least a part of the janitorial crew, because the way I come through on cleanup crew is absolutely insane. He was pretty much down, but I had to get me a taste of that. The way it's looking for us to come back in this game is ugly, but you want to know what's absolutely stunning? The way I get back into position coming down with my first pick officially as a Hokie, and I try to run it back the best that I could. We're going to take an L this week, and that's fine. We got some building and growing to do, but it's against number 6 Clemson on the road, so it's something you really can't be mad at. We're going to get better though for sure. Oh, but this week, first official home game, we got Old Dominion. Yeah, they finna get that work. I have one personal goal that I'm set out to achieve this season, and that's catch an interception in every single game that I play this year. I don't care who we're playing or whatever the circumstances are, every single game, I gotta come down with at least one of those balls. And with everything in me, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to live and stand on this goal. And my teammates, the secondary that we have, elite to say the least. Standing here in man coverage, hyping up the crowd, they're going crazy. The stadium is going absolutely wild. Trying to get into position to make a play on this ball, but this quick and speedy receiver makes this catch, picking up the first. I know I always say I'm not the biggest or best hitter, but one thing about it, bro, I've been in that lab. I've been working on my tackling. I've been working on every part of my game, but being able to drop a shoulder comfortably on these running backs and receivers, yeah, I'm going crazy. And for some reason, Old Dominion has fallen in love with these jet sweeps and touch passes, coming in motion, all of that crazy stuff, and they're gonna get their receivers hurt because I'm coming down, I'm laying that wood every single time. My freshman year and even last season, I was somewhat of a liability in cover 3 at times, but this year I've been working on my speed, getting back. I'm just a completely different ball player. Coming down with that pick, I promise to get every single game, taking this one back for a decent return. And here comes the most hated double stack receiver look. I get downhill to make the tackle, don't come through with it, but my teammates, they clean up. Now hearing some off man, just trying to prevent the big play, sitting back. My receiver does pick up the catch and some yardage, but I make sure he pays for it. And he wasn't only one that paid for it. After landing that hit, my entire left side went numb on me. I had to sit out the rest of the game, but the guys come through in the clutch with a dub. It's a beautiful sunny day out here in Maryland, and you know me and the guys are out here trying to get active in this all white. And tell them play me better, boy, I really watch film. You put your fastest receiver out here on the wide side of the field, my side on that island, you know I'm gonna come through in the clutch securing the pick, and I get back for a nice return. And I don't think they're gonna learn their lesson to keep Lil Bro away from me. I know this is gonna be their go-to gadget guy. They're gonna try to bomb me over the top at some point in time, and I'm gonna be ready for it. Trust and believe that. And speaking of lessons being learned, I don't think I've learned my own, and I know I need to get back against a speedy guy like him, but I'm overly confident. He blows the top completely off our defense, taking this one all the way to the crib for 6. But it's all good. Offense got my back. Hearing some man coverage, he makes this catch just underneath, picking up a decent amount of yardage, but I definitely lay that wood on him. And back in that cover 3, you know I'm offense side, trying to bait things up even on the wide side of the field. It doesn't go my way, but I do come through with a tackle. And at this point, I'm just a certified crash out. I see a big body running back coming my way. I can't lay that left shoulder. I just hurt that last game, but this week throwing that right. Being great in zone coverage is one of my strong suits, but here it was absolutely masterful. I dropped this receiver deep after getting to the top of my zone, then I snagged this nasty pick. Back with some more cover 2 with a 6-point lead. I peeped the formation, but I don't know what's coming. It's that quick screen. I'm down there to stop him before he can even get back to the line of scrimmage. I'm going crazy already with 2 interceptions in this game alone. Now getting back into that deep coverage, trying to air it out with that empty gun look. Give me that INT number 3, and I pull off a nasty return, breaking multiple tackles. It's crunch time, and you know exactly what Maryland is thinking. Put that speedy guy on the outside and just throw up a hope and a prayer. But this time around, it ain't being answered. I'm coming through with pick number 4 of the game. Send them boys home. And the way we came out here and dominated the fourth quarter, you would think we were the home team. We might as well take over. We own Maryland at this point. It's our house. James Madison has yet to get their first win of the season, and I refuse for it to be against us today at the crib. Going with that trip stack formation, I hate to see it, especially in man. I say it all the time, but how about a strip sack and my boy picking this one up, taking it all the way back to the crib, and I sit one of their receivers down multiple times, letting them know this ain't that type of game. Now with that same receiver lined up wide on my side of the field on that island, I do a terrible job playing way too off here when it's 3rd and 1. Not only does he pick up the first down, but a little bit extra. And you know at this point, I'm just waiting on my opportunity. Now down here pressing, riding my man's hip all the way down the field. If he throw this ball, he knows it's gonna be picked off. He knows better. It's 3rd and 3. They're within 30 yards of the end zone, trying to get them off the field and force them to take the field goal, but they're gonna launch the ball to my side. You know that's not smart. Give me that. My first pick of this game. We getting off already. And I'm starting to notice my assignment on a week-to-week basis are a lot of small, short, quick receivers, and with me being 6'4", having that size advantage, I'm gonna bully these boys every time. We've got this offset stack formation with the receivers. My guy comes in motion. I'm coming around the corner, blowing this play up off the touch pass before he even knew what happened. It's 2nd and 4. They decide to go with the quick curl on my side. He doesn't pick up the first, but nonetheless, he holds on to this ball through a big hit. Anytime I'm in cover 2, I can always play great run support because I'm playing already so low down to the line of scrimmage, but here coming through, flying down, blowing his running back up off his feet. Me and my defense have done a fantastic job today keeping James Madison out of the end zone, but we fail here on 2nd and goal here in the fourth quarter. This game is far from over. We got to lock in. I know it, you know it, we all know. They need to take a shot if they want a chance at winning this game, but reading this play down to a T, the second I saw this receiver break, I knew where the ball was going. Not only do I hawk this down, I take it all the way back to the crib for a pick 6. And if the game wasn't already vacuum sealed in the bag, how about my dog, my star linebacker, Caleb Woodson, catching this pick, taking it all the way back, a 37-yard pick 6 back-to-back possessions. This can feel like a hassle or just be super annoying as a DB. I can only imagine the frustration as a receiver running all the way up the field just for the ball to not come your way. Boston College wide receiver 1 nudges me off at the top of this route, picks up the first. Him and his quarterback gonna have to pay for that at some point in this game, I'm telling you. And like I literally just said, somebody gonna have to pay for that. How about both of them on this same receiver? Their quarterback launches it to my side, coming through with the interception, and I try to spin my way out. And I guess tonight, me and 6, we're just gonna go to war. He runs a great route, makes a great catch, picks up the first down. He paid for it, and it's coming back because of a hole. And when I said leading up to the season, I worked on my speed, I meant that. I come downhill, full speed, blazing, jumping this route. INT number 2 is secured. I got 2 picks. We're up 21-0, and we have a whole fourth quarter to play. I'm feeling it right now. Everybody gonna get it. But I'd be lying if I told you I thought Boston College would go scoreless at the crib and we were gonna secure the shutout. They pick up their first TD of the game. And I know I've been balling out, going crazy, catching interceptions, just doing my thing. But how about my teammates coming through in the clutch on the other side of the field as Boston College try to make another push? push for another TD. Trips on my side, I see the inside guy run this weird little whip route. I jump it and I'm just a hair short from the interception. That would have been insane. And when it pertains to cover 2, I feel like that's how you play it perfectly. Yeah, I gave up the big play, but the way I was able to get back down after cutting off everything over the top and still be in position to make a play on the ball, possibly that's how you do it. And with BC making the final push to put some points on the board, I blow up their quarterback as he tries to run it in, letting them know this ain't that. This game is over. Kicking things off this week against Cal here in the first quarter, the guys are going to get back there, apply pressure, almost securing the safety. And you know, early game, any game against whoever we play, I'm trying to get active as soon as possible. Get those jitters out the way so I can lock in on my game. And everybody knows I'm the clean up crew merchant, shed the block, get down. My guy pretty much has his tackle secured, but I'm going to make sure we get it for sure. And currently I'm on a huge streak right now. 5 consecutive games with at least 1 pick, a few multi-pick games under my belt, trying to secure another one today and keep the streak alive. But when I'm not coming through with a pick, you can always expect my guys up front or even on the back end on the other side of the field to come through and make a big play of their own. Here we go with this off stack. I kind of know what to expect. They go down the sideline with the speedy receiver. I'm just over the top coming through with my first pick of the game here in the first half. Here I am in some off man coverage trying to keep my guy from going deep into the end zone to make a big play. I look over and there's a dude flying up the middle of the field, falling his way in for a touchdown. I'm starting to notice a little bit of a tendency. Put the speed guy on the short side of the field, let him work in a straight line, go up the field. You know I'm not going for that though. I got elite speed at this point. Pick number 2 has been secured and I'm trying to spin my way and take it to the house. Being dominant in man and zone has become somewhat of an art form for me. I've been doing everything down to a T. I haven't been perfect. I've given up a few things, but dog, I'm just balling. And to no surprise, we're just near midfield. They go with all reliable. Speedy guy lined up kind of tight, goes wide on the release and flies up the field. I'm not in cover 3, so that's really not my responsibility. The guys give up a big play on the back end. And that's why I play cover 2 and just zone period the way that I do. You can always help a teammate over the top or at least be in a position where you can kind of cut things off. Like if I just had 3 to 5 more yards of depth, that ball wouldn't have been thrown there. And if it was, it would have most definitely been a pick. Would have been my 3rd of the game. Game on the line and I don't get back into my zone deep enough. This quarterback throws this ball right in the back. This receiver makes an insane catch to put this one away. Despite the opinion of most, Georgia Tech is loaded. They got a bunch of talent, and this is not the offense we know from the early 2000s. Tie ball game here towards the bottom of the first quarter. These boys are pinned back deep, trying to get the safety here. And you can go ahead and add them 2 points to the scoreboard. The safety is secured. The stadium is rocking. We're coming through doing our thing on defense early. Getting physical with a bigger receiver at the line here, split out wide. The guys give up a big time completion on the other side. They pick up the first down. I knew at some point they'd try to come through and take a shot towards the end zone, and who would have thought it'd be this play? I make a diving attempt on this ball, but my boy comes through and secures the pick himself. New possession for Georgia Tech. 1-3 out here on this island. Once again, I got some cover 3, getting back into my zone. If the quarterback put this ball where it was supposed to be, this was most definitely a pick. And my 6-game streak of catching at least 1 interception continues, and it increases to 7 consecutive games, coming away here in man coverage off at that with the pick. 13 be lined up so wide where his release, he almost runs out of bounds. But how about my dog on the other side? Uno with his first pick of the season and his first pick 6. I consider myself at this point to be a literal technician, not only in zone but this off man. It's just what I specialize in. Trailing this receiver, knowing exactly what route he's running, got him locked down to a T. We have a 5-point lead late in the fourth quarter. You know they're gonna take a shot to my side. I'm always guarding every team's #1 receiver, but hold on, this boy tried to go on top of my head with it. When a receiver's running a route so close to the sideline, makes it nearly impossible for a quarterback to lead him. That's why I played this underneath the entire time, knowing it's gonna be underthrown. That enables me to get the pick. Georgia Tech still sees a chance to come back in this game, but I see a chance to come through with another pick. I do that, but I take this one back, breaking multiple tackles down the sideline for an 80-yard pick 6, diving my way into the end zone for the game. I've been so locked in on my game, maintaining my health, and just overall improving my skills as a player that I've completely neglected my books. I had to go MIA and focus on my GPA so I can touch the field again, missing out on 2 games. We won a game and lost one against a really good talented team in Oklahoma on the road, so I can't be too mad at that. But now sitting at 6-3, it's time to finish the season strong. But I come back from my slight hiatus against the #7 ranked team in the country, 9-1 Pitt. They have to travel to our house. It's time to step up and ball out. And it's time for me to remind the country of who I am. I've been gone for a little bit. I'm back in action. Let's get it. And if you know me, I only know one way to do that, and that's getting interceptions and overall making big plays, coming through with the pick on their star receiver, taking this one to the crib on a slight pick 6. We have a 4-point lead, 2 minutes minutes left in the fourth quarter. We know teams get desperate around this time. The crowd is loud, but how about me and my dog colliding on this receiver, making him fumble, and he secures it. A critical 3rd and 7 situation, pinned back deep into their own territory. My guy runs a quick curl. On the other side, though, my guys are batting that ball down, forcing the 4th down. A brand new drive, but they've marched their way all the way down the field. 38 seconds left with no timeouts. They try to make something happen on the other side. Once again, my guys are not going forward. It's 4th and 16. You put your number 1 receiver on my side of the field. I'm in cover 3. We all know what's about to go down. 2nd interception secured. I break a few tackles on the return, but this game is over. We handpicked their 2nd loss of the season. Back at the crib once again, and our home crowd never ceases to amaze me. They're going crazy, jam-packed. This is just a beautiful place to play. Securing that win last week did us a lot of justice. We move up into the perfect spot. Number 12 in the country, we can slip into that college football playoff. But we have to focus on NC State this week. They take a run up the middle. I explode and blow their running back off his feet, but they pick up the touchdown. But if you're going to pick one up on my defense, I have to take one from you. It's mandatory. Over the top, over my shoulder, coming through with the pick, and I pull off a decent return with a nasty little side juke. And we've done this before. It seems like it's just perfectly timed every single time, colliding on a ball carrier, knocking the ball loose. Man, a big time play from my defense back to back. But this time around, we don't secure the fumble, but my receiver here picking up this catch underneath, he holds on to the ball through a big hit. That's a nice catch. It's 3rd and 13, trying to get them off the field, force the field goal. But you know what's even better? Getting an interception, and with my receiver falling out of the back of the end zone, that leaves no one to stop me from taking this one back 99 yards. And after making a play like that, putting points on the board for the squad, you know I'm feeling it. The juices are flowing. He's trying to air it out to the back of the end zone once again, put my body on the line for that INT. And I go stand midfield in front of this beautiful home crowd and celebrate the fact that that's my 20th interception just this season. But you know what number I like better than 20? It's just one above. 21, coming through with another interception in the clutch, over the top. Slight return, but that's how you handle business. When in man coverage, you want to mirror your receiver down to a T. I do that and some. Not only am I in position, but snatching this ball away from him. This would have been a touchdown if I didn't muscle up. Not sure what's going on today. I guess I'm just excited because our home crowd is just roaring right now, but I'm playing literally out of my body, just otherworldly. Now here in the fourth quarter, here on 4th and 11, I guess they're feeling desperate. I'm looking to do what I do best, and I do exactly that. INT secured, another pick on the day, and I take it back nearly 50 yards. And with the performance like this today, I would say go ahead and hand me the Heisman. But if you still have any doubts in your mind, how about another interception on the day to really wrap it up? You know what time it is, man. Give it to me. Now keep it a buck with me. Did you think in this lifetime you'd ever see a player catch 7 interceptions in a single game? You'd be lying if you said you did. And at this point, I'm just trying to follow up every week, every single performance with one just like that. I might not be able to catch 7, but I'm trying to do anything remotely close. And with the way I'm feeling against a rival like Virginia in the Commonwealth Clash, I'm trying to make plays all across the field. And speaking of making plays, you know, once again, this home crowd, they're gonna do it for me every single time, getting into position, coming down with the pick. You know the routine, nasty return for what, 50, 40, 60, I don't even know how many yards. Here's a great example on where you need to have good mental balance when it comes to deep zone coverage. But a great example of having that balance, this receiver sits down on a deep curl. I have enough depth to stop him from going deep, but I also can get back downhill, make a play on this ball. But here in cover 2, this is the prime example on how you play this down to perfection. I get depth, cut off everything over the top, but I'm still able to come downhill, catch the pick, and ride this thing down the sideline for 70 plus yards. And it's been insane watching my skills and all different types of coverages develop. But here in some deep zone, snagging this pick once again, taking this one back for a solid return, breaking multiple tackles, has almost become routine at this point. Back with some cover 2, I got one receiver on my side of the field. I'm thinking he's gonna run up into the end zone, but he does the complete opposite, breaking it towards the sideline, diving interception. That's what happens when you master your craft. And let's give number 1 for Virginia a round of applause. He's put it all on the line today, trying to beat me. I've had that boy literally locked up, and I will not let him out. And the QB1, he's definitely gonna get benched after this week. I own him. And with 29 interceptions, 25 tackles, 4 pick sixes on the regular season, your boy wins Defensive Player of the Year. And if you ask the question who the best defensive back in the country was this season, it's pretty obvious. And in the first round of the college football playoff, Texas A&M is on the menu. I'm a firm believer in first impressions are everything. We hadn't seen Texas A&M all throughout the regular season, so how about a pick to get things kicked off here in the first play from scrimmage and taking it back for a pick 6? And I know y'all done peeped, I've been laying a lot of big hits over these last couple of weeks. You know that ain't stopping, especially at a game of this magnitude. But this is something new. Everybody's packed in tight to the line. I get absolutely routed by this tight end. He picks up 6 on my head, their first touchdown of this game. A&M is trying to score once again before the end of the first half. He doesn't have much space to work with, having to throw this ball a bit short, but I know this. That's why I play it underneath, and I pick up pick number 2 of the first half. 75% of this field is shaded, but the other 25% where it's not, I'm gonna shine bright in the pocket of this receiver like an old school iPod, picking up another huge interception. But with us having an entire fourth quarter to play, A&M is not gonna go away easy. We gotta remember this is a SEC team in the college football playoff. They pick up a score here. At this point, my mentality is flat out bully ball. I do a great job getting in position, but I completely misjudge the trajectory of this ball. It's underthrown slightly, picking up a first down. And with the 4-point lead with just over a minute and a half left in this game, it's crunch time. A big play needs to be made. You know 9 gonna go and get it without a doubt, without question. INT secured. I think that's 4 on the day. But offense quickly turns the ball right back over, and that's gonna call on me once again with the ice in my veins. Another pick over the top. By the time I got my head around, I peeped the coast is clear. I'm going to the house with it. And with both of our teams being 9-3, this was a hard-fought game, but the better team is gonna walk out of here victorious in a winner's fashion. Now, the win last week was tough, but this time around, the number 2 ranked team in the nation, just a few games away from that national championship appearance. Looking to do more of the same this week. They got a bunch of speedy guys on the perimeter, so I have to lock in and make sure I protect my deep zones. But if not me, somebody on this defense will step up and make a big play. We got stars all over the place. How about my linebacker, Caleb, with the pick, taking it back to the crib for 6. And you rarely see this. I'm down here pressing at the line, I win. Keep my footing, my step, get into position, come down with the pick, break a tackle, I go down. You know the story, you know how this goes. Now back here in zone, you know they're gonna put him back on the wide side to try to take the top off again. I'm not going for it. Locked down, the quarterback overshoots. I gotta wag that finger after the play, letting him know, no sir. So far, just here in the first half, as a defense, we put up points and we created multiple turnovers, but now here doing both a turnover and another touchdown, taking it all the way with the scoop and score. And here we go, having to find that balance. Keep your eyes right there in front of you, but also getting your depth. He makes this catch, but he definitely pays the ultimate price. And at this point, this game against West Virginia has completely gotten out of hand with a bunch of time left here in the third quarter, but also an entire fourth quarter to play. We're going to get these boys up out of here, check them out for sure. With another turnover, we're just going absolutely crazy. 37-3 in the Peach Bowl against the number 2 team in the nation. We walk out of here victorious. We band together, standing around this beautiful trophy, knowing we're just one step closer to our ultimate goal. The semifinal is next. One game away. Let's get it. We got Auburn. Out the gate, we know they're going to put the ball on the ground a ton. Here getting active, laying a big hit on their RB1. 3rd and 5, the first time they actually throw the ball my way. This tight end makes a great catch, rides it upfield. I take a terrible angle. He picks up big yardage. And just based off how the first half is going in its majority, I already know the game plan. Stay away from 9. It's pretty obvious, and I hate it. And if I ever thought bad luck existed, it'll be right here on a play like this. QB1 fumbles, I'm right there. Before I could dive on it, they scoop it up, fall into the end zone, touchdown. And after that play, the entire third quarter, and now here in the fourth is just not going our way. Auburn's having their way with us, and we can't make anything shake on either side of the ball. And sadly, after that one play in the first half where the tight end took off on me, I haven't had a single ball thrown my way since. And just one game away from a national championship here in the Sugar Bowl against Auburn, we fall way short. Just a week ago, we were the team standing around the trophy celebrating a blowout win. Now the shoe is on the other foot, and it does not feel good. Even though we fell short of the big time game, bro, we did way more than anybody expected us to do. Now going into next season, my senior year, yes, I will be returning. You already know what time it is. I'm trying to match this season, if not better. I think it's only right that I return for my senior season, not only getting my degree, but running it back with my guys here at Virginia Tech. I think a national championship is in order for my senior season, and that's stamped. After having a legendary sophomore season, not going to the league shocked pretty much everybody. And the only way to justify my returning back to Virginia Tech for my senior season is to pick up where I left off. And I'm doing that here in the second quarter with a pick 6. And at the time, it just felt like the right thing to do. A lot of guys are returning, and we were just one game away from a national championship appearance. So when you take everything into account, you really look at it through a different lens. Did I really make a bad decision? I know the league is the league, but come on, we got a real good chance of going all the way this season. And if we can come out, ball, and dominate the way we are now in week week 1 as the #1 team in the country throughout the remainder of the season, I think we can complete our goal. But when it comes to the media, I was called everything under the sun when I didn't decide to go to the league. I caught 35 picks. I was guaranteed a shoe-in to go #1 in the draft. So not only did I return and win a national championship and be here for my guys and just go all the way, I'm out to prove everybody wrong. And last season, everybody knows I was the king of multi-pick games, and I'm going to continue to hold up that crown as we're blowing these boys out. They got to put the ball in the air. And this season, I'm about to put my entire skill set on display, whether it's press man, zone, cover 2, whatever. I'm going all out. And I also want to showcase my ability to flat out make tackles in open space. But the one thing that's going to separate me from everybody in the draft when that time does come is my ability to attack that ball. I've already separated myself from every DB in the country, but when you can open up a season with 4 interceptions in a single game, you just different, flat out, and ain't no denying that. If you've been tapped in, you know what I did to Maryland last season. Went absolutely crazy. I think I caught 3 or 4 picks against them as well. And even though it's a new season, it's still the same old me dropping back in man coverage, playing way off. But I already know what time it is and what they like to do, coming down with my first pick here in the first quarter. And I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't get burnt at all last year, but something that's new to me that I haven't really experienced in a long time is getting absolutely toasted over the top for a TD. Now we're trailing. They have 14 points here towards the bottom, the back end of the first half, trying to get these boys off the field. They pick up a first, but I do lay a big hit. Plays like this are exactly why you stay home and play your zone. I shouldn't have been way back there, but I could have been in position to cut this ball off some way, shape, or form, or even keep him from throwing it. But even when my defense or myself screw up on the back end, you can trust and believe the boys up front gonna make something happen. They get the strip sack here and take over. And now as we're 1 minute away from going into the fourth quarter, I've been waiting patiently for my next opportunity to make a play on that ball. I just missed one right here. Outside receiver does an inside release, nice and slow, and then he takes it upfield. I know where he's about to go with this. Corner route, I'm all over it. I get a nice pick as I walk out of bounds. And with the third quarter coming to an end, we're still trailing by 5 points, trying to put ourselves back into this game. I trust and believe in our offense though, but ain't no amount of trust in the world is going to put points on that board. They're going to have to go do that themselves, and they fail to do that. We take our first loss of the season here in week 2. To my knowledge, this is the first time in my career that I'm playing SMU, and out the gate, they bust one open towards the end of the first quarter to get into the end zone. And it's been a lot of talks around town calling me the cover 3 go ball merchant, but little do they know I get active in man coverage as well, picking this one off on the post route. And I continue to strap things up even down here in the red zone, putting hands on this receiver, getting physical at the line, but my guys on the other side getting active, coming away with a pick of their own. This is a prime example on why I love cover 2 zone. I can bait anything underneath and sell that look and get over here and make a play on the ball, but here I make a huge mistake by misjudging. And it's just plays like that that live with you throughout the entirety of a game, just a hair short of coming away with that pick, especially on the dive. I'm selling this one so well, playing way off like I'm not even trying to play man coverage. That's the look I want to give this quarterback, and it works out to perfection. And I get another chance here in the fourth quarter with a 20-point lead to make a play here in cover 2 zone, and I mess it up once again, but I secure the tackle this time around. Stack formation super close to the sideline. There's only about one place the quarterback can throw this ball if he targets my guy, which he does. You know I got the pick, taking it back upfield, wanting to get into the end zone to completely cap this game off, but I do get caught short. But SMU refuses to go away quietly. They only have about 40 seconds left on this clock, but this receiver's taking off up the field, going full speed. He's taking off, getting in for a touchdown. Last week's loss dropped us from #1 to #10 in the country. Getting a win this week should definitely help our cases to jump back off in that top 5. Never in my days as a college football player would I think I'd say that Stanford right now was undefeated, 4-0, and for some reason they're not ranked. And as they open up things here in the first quarter on 2nd and 5, down here in the red zone, they fumble and they mess up their golden opportunity. But then they come right back just a possession later, march all the way down the field and get into the end zone. Their running back, he did his thing on this one, I ain't gonna lie. And this entire first quarter has been the same song. We haven't been able to score, and they just continue to march up and down this field. And here we are with a golden opportunity of our own, playing off here in some zone coverage, but this ball was thrown so perfectly I couldn't even make a play on this one. Touchdown. And anytime we're in cover 2 zone, you know I'm looking to make a play. My eyes are peeled for the ball to come my way, which it does, but it's snatched away by a teammate. That's like the second time that's happened this season so far. But one thing about it, and two things for sure, I'm gonna get mine always and forever. Second quarter, the first half is coming to an end. I get that interception to put the ball back into the hands of our offense. And that red zone opportunity that I messed up that resulted in a touchdown, yeah, I'm gonna get that back, and you know that here on 2nd and 6, dropping back in that zone, I cut this ball off to perfection, have a decent return, let's go. And as I get back deep here, I almost had a chance here to pick off this ball. I was just a little bit too deep over to the left of my zone, getting towards midfield, making a tackle. But as I continue to try to bait Stanford's quarterback and just test his ability to put this ball where it needs to be, he shows me that he's the real deal, putting this ball in a place that I literally couldn't contest. In them last couple of minutes of that game against Stanford, I didn't get to play. We took the loss and my shoulder wasn't feeling right, and even to this day it still feels a little iffy. I'm not sure if it's the way I landed when I try to dive for the ball or whatever the case may be. It's one of those weird non-contact injuries that just really is going to bug me throughout the remainder of the season. And then we come out here against Louisville and I'm getting toasted. We're number 10 in the country at 2-2. It's not looking good for us if we can't bounce back this week. And then they continue to hit me with these short and quick routes that I could easily pick off and take home for 6. But even with a bum shoulder, I'm still going to try to get active and get very handsy at the line with a smaller receiver, but he quickly teaches me a lesson about speed, something that I thought I had a whole bunch of. Even though I'm getting toasted in coverage, I'm still getting active when it comes to tackling today, probably one of my best tackling games, period. And I've made a few mistakes in coverage today, but I won't make one here. Cover 2 zone, I peep the inside release, knowing it's going to the corner. You know what time it is. Give me my first interception of this game, and I'm trying to do everything I can to tear away and take it back. And even with me coming through an interception, I'm still having somewhat of a bad game, but we do hold a 3-point lead here in the 4th quarter. I refuse to sell like I did last week. And usually with a speedy receiver like this that's punished me all throughout this game, I get back with no hesitation. But once again, inside release, they go back to old reliable, and I'm getting back to myself with another pick. And I know Louisville saw what happened last week. I got tried and gave up the touchdown that ultimately cost us the W, but this week trying to launch it towards my side on 4th and 18, your final chance to win this game, it's not going down like that. No way, no how. It's nothing worse than opening up the defensive drive and you claim to be the best defensive player in the country and you get beat over the top for a touchdown. But all players mess up. We ain't gonna stress it. We ain't gonna worry about it too much. We just gotta shake back, now down 7-0 in the 1st quarter. 2nd and 6, running back takes the handoff, a clean hole, but you know what? I'm gonna fill that gap coming through Blaze and land a big hit. Back here in my favorite defensive look, they go with a trip stack and this receiver runs a route right to me. I pick him up. This ball could have been picked off easily. Sometimes I underestimate how fast these receivers are. If this ball was thrown any better, he would have rolled this one off into the sunset. I make a mistake getting way too far back in my cover 2 zone, but I come downhill, lay him out, cause the fumble. We couldn't recover in bounds. And I'm pretty sure this is what NFL teams and scouts want to see more of from me, man. Coverage, dominating, still being able to get picks and just make plays on the ball in any situation. And I don't care if you're lined up in the slot, tight to the line, split out wide, I'm gonna do it every single time. I'm showcasing my full skill set like I intended to start this season, coming away with another pick. And we're getting absolutely destroyed by Syracuse right now. My offense non-existent. Defensively, the other side is doing terrible. Syracuse came to town and they handled business. The Orange was not here to play. They take us off the map. If I'm not mistaken, last year we kicked off the season against Clemson and lost, but this year it's a whole new season. 3rd and 5, 1st quarter, interception, give me that, let's go. Offense went and made it happen, picking up a touchdown, putting the first points on the board. Now we're trying to get these boys off the field once again, trying to capitalize and take off early. When I see that stack formation, I'm always in attack mode, man. Coverage, I come down, full speed, dive and pick, putting our offense in the best position possible. They go with the touch pass to one of the receivers to my side. I blow him up on the sideline, completely laying his boy out. It's one thing to be a ball hawking corner, but when you can absolutely turn any look for a QB into something that they think is an open receiver, you can take over the game in a moment's notice. I got a deep zone here on 3rd and 1, but just like that 2 receiver stack, this trips bunch always gets my attention. Now here in the 4th quarter, I'm just experimenting with different ways to play my deep coverage. I'm lined up outside the numbers, just testing around, trying to see what I can do. Clemson is going with the hurry up. We switch to man coverage at the last second. I pick up the tackle, but after he picks up the first. We made it to overtime. Offense went and took care of business, and now in man coverage, I'm gonna step up for my defense and for my team, securing the pick. And I'm feeling like Jalen Ramsey right now. If you've noticed, my dog never kneels a pick out no matter where it's at, no matter what the situation is. I'm feeling the same way. A 74-yard pick 6 to put it away in this overtime thriller. I'm feeling like him right now. Them boys from the U that made that trip this week, they 6-2. We better come to play or they're gonna embarrass us. If you want to talk about great press man coverage, here's a solid example here. Get my hands on them at the line, getting physical, trail them. I got my inside leverage, not giving them too much depth. And like I said before, that's been my goal my whole career, but especially here in my senior season, is to be a jack of all trades, do everything at a high level. Man coverage before we head into the 2nd half, I got the tight end. He does beat me on the outside, but he's throwing this ball towards my boy Cinco, coming away with the interception, taking this one all the way back to the crib for a nasty pick six. We do have the lead just before going into the second half, but I'm almost certain this was a touchdown saving tackle. I don't think I've ever seen a running back split out wide and run a route this crispy, but how about my guys getting to the back, causing a fumble, then jumping on in the end zone for the safety? See, I believe sometime I put way too much trust in my speed. I'm lined up outside the numbers, trying to bait. We got the lead. I'm just trying to experiment and try something new, but my teammate comes through and saved me. I'm getting back in man coverage. I whip my head around. I see a back stumbling. You know what type of time I'm on. No gloves. I'm going crazy, knocking this ball loose, and I fall on it for the recovery. No matter what my responsibility is, if I peep something, I'm going to act on it. I see this receiver underneath wide open. Not only do I get downhill in time, I just missed the pick by a hair. I think it's safe to say, and I can speak for everybody, nobody thought that the U would come to our house and get blown out by a 30 ball. Playing Notre Dame is one thing, but on the road, yeah, we're probably in for one today, I'm not gonna lie. They've already put points on the board and we go scoreless throughout the first quarter. Now we're trying to do something to get these boys off the field, but they continue to make big plays. And Notre Dame has some really underrated speed guys on the perimeter. This overall receiving core is actually really decent, trailing this guy all the way up the field. It's 3rd and 8, dropping back into my zone, a much needed clutch interception to put our offense in a good position. Hopefully they can put some points up. They do go and put up some points, but not exactly what I had in mind, but that's okay. Playing some great man coverage here. I see the inside release from an outside receiver. I know it's a corner route. That's a pick all day, every day. Knowing my early struggles in man coverage throughout my career, now seeing as a senior that I'm absolutely dominating, it's pretty beautiful to see how much my game has evolved. But we just can't seem to get ahead of Notre Dame at no point in this game. They continue to make the plays that they need to make sure that they have that one step over us. And with the clock winding down, they're in the red zone. They have an opportunity to pick up the first and kill the clock. That's exactly what they're going to do here. A 5-point loss on the road, a win that we needed desperately to improve our record and also keep us in contention to try to make it into that college football playoff. When it comes to the heavy hitters in the ACC, ourselves and UNC, we're both underperforming this season. And I guess today is just the battle of the two underachieving teams out of the ACC. Somehow we're still ranked number 8, so we still have a lot to prove. We do hold a 7-point lead here in the second quarter, now in some man coverage off at that, and this receiver makes an insane catch. I don't know how I didn't catch this pick or at least knock this ball down. And I can already tell today will not be my greatest. Back in some man coverage on an island with this receiver, not only do I misjudge what this ball is, a touchdown is given up on my behalf. And I'm not sure bro's a senior or whatever the case may be. He's trying to make a case on why he should be drafted. He's going all out on me today. And to be honest, I have taken somewhat of a mental dip, seeing that the team isn't performing as well as I thought we would this season, and it's my senior year. And usually in situations like this, I play this coverage perfectly in the red zone, giving up my second touchdown, misjudging this ball, a great route ran, and an even better ball. And with us already being down, North Carolina holding the lead, a chance to get them off the field turns into another touchdown opportunity for them, and they cash in. And make it back-to-back road games where we take a loss, and then on top of that, 2 games in a row we lose by 5 points exactly. After 2 back-to-back road game losses, the only thing on my mind here at home for the first time in a while is to get back to my playmaking ways. Without a doubt, last week, hands down, was the worst performance I've ever put on tape in about 2 seasons. Multiple touchdowns given up, 0 picks. For us as a team, our main goal, especially finishing out the season after things are taking a turn for the worse, is just to win out. What I've been trying to ingrain into my own mind and even in the heads of my teammates is forget last week, forget the week before that, and any prior losses. And above all else, we cannot disappoint a home crowd, a packed out one at that. It's 3rd and 22. The third quarter is about to come to an end in about a minute. Everybody knows this ball is about to get aired out, but throwing it my way, that was a terrible decision. Don't know why he did it, but I'm gonna make him pay. Outrunning the entire offense to the end zone for a pick 6. And that's all it takes for me. Just like that, I'm feeling like myself once again. My head is clear, my mind is right. I'm ready to finish this season out strong. And believe it or not, we're ranked number 15 at 5-5. The college football playoff is still on the table. I mean, it will take a lot for those dominoes to fall in our favor, but we went out, a few teams lose, we could climb our way up into one of those top 12 spots. And with this blowout already in full swing, finishing this game out the way as a defense that I would always love and appreciate with the pick 6, but not from me, from my dog Jalen Duke. We got our rival Virginia today, and we're just 1 spot away from being ranked high enough to squeeze into the back door of the college football playoff. Never in my life would I think I'd play expert textbook man coverage, especially in the red zone, and drop an easy go-ahead pick. But just 1 possession later, I'll be leaping my way into the sky to snatch this ball down, putting our offense in the red zone for themselves. Hopefully they go put some points up. And I'm telling you, bro, I've been fantastic in zone my entire career, but this man coverage has been my focus, and it shows. Another pick here in the first half. But with this trips formation, they're not stacked, they're not bunched, but they're very tight. I could have definitely jumped this pick and took it to the crib, but nonetheless, a good tackle is a good tackle. Not even lined up inside here on man coverage, stacked right on top of my receiver. He does get the step, but I'm in perfect position to cut this ball off, but I don't secure a reel in the interception. And look at them boys going with the two receivers stacked. Got that number one wide out over here on my side. I don't get through to get there in time to make the big play on the ball, but I blow this play up. So you're down 4 points in the fourth quarter. Virginia on 3rd and 23 decides to go with the tunnel screen. I'm taking that all the way to the house. It was a super delayed throw. He made a huge mistake. Off to the races I go. Big time pick six. You have a pretty decent lead here in the fourth quarter, but if you ever thought or even questioned how bad I wanted to make it into the college football playoff, trailing this receiver all the way across the field, securing an interception and taking it back, outrunning everybody for the huge pick six. 2 of them things. This game has already been signed and sealed, but I can't lie, the only thing on my mind is wondering, are we going to squeeze into one of those top 12 spots, and can we actually make it into the playoff with a 7-5 record? And sadly, but completely understandable, the answer to that question is a big flat out no. We won't be competing for a national championship this season, but on the bright side, first team All-American, your boy done secured those honors. And to take a look at my career, the numbers, my journey, and when you look back at it all, I really went crazy, gave the game everything I could at the collegiate level. This year as a team, we fell short of our ultimate goal, but me personally putting up nearly 30 interceptions, having the most tackles I've had in a single season of my entire career. With all that being said, what team do you think will pick me up in the NFL draft?